be able to meet him and to talk with him. So yeah, a lot of players picking this up, and I do question, you know, I've got to ask the question, are we going to start seeing players, you know, using these new civs in the same way that the AOC civs were being used when AOC was released? And what I mean by that is a lot of people were complaining that, hey, the metagame of AOC for the last 14, 15 years has been very stale. We've only seen, you know, Aztecs, Mayans, Spanish all the time. They're really, really overpowered. They're really strong. The Huns as well, of course. The AOC civs were dominant. Now that we have wololokingdoms and these new expansions from the African kingdoms, the rise of the Rajas, are we only going to see Malians? Are we only going to see Burmese? You know, are they going to replace those AOC civs? And my hope is that the answer to that is no. My hope is that we're not going to see these civs just dominating, and that the AOC, AOK civs still have a place in the game. So I would like to see how that develops over time. Obviously, right now, there's definitely a novelty factor at play, let's say. You know, players want to play with the new civs. They want to get to grips. They want to learn them. But, you know, in a year's time, are the new civs still going to be dominant, or are we still going to find that players are still going to want to pick those AOC, AOK civs, even the forgotten civs? So we'll see. But MbL here asking if Mr. Yo has stolen his boar. If we look at MbL's scouting, he's having a hard time finding that second boar. Where is it? It's just over here in this little patch of fog, which he hasn't uncovered yet. Looks like he's heading over there now, so he should find it. But this is a little awkward for him, as he just want to be bringing in his second boar before this stage of the game. And this may kind of influence him a little bit as to what he might want to do. Hey there, Mikey, in the chat. Hey, Pizza AoE. Hey, Nil Pardvand. Hey, Keshav as well. And Hoover. Why didn't you get an alert I was streaming? I literally just started Hoover, so, you know, I didn't kind of start early and put a timer up. We just started and we went straight into it. Talking about coming straight into it. Agile Dinosaur coming straight in with a sub right there. Thank you very much, sir, for your support. Thank you, and welcome to the Church of Wololo, Agile Dinosaur. Yeah, again, there's sub hypes in the chat. That's a good way to start the day. That's a good way to start. Notice how Mr. Yo is pushing the deer right now. He doesn't want to run out of food. He wants to delay farms as long as possible. He wants to get that extra food boost in as he builds a barracks right now, and it looks like he's going to go for men-at-arms. Typically speaking, if you want to drush, you want to know where your enemies are by doing the by pushing the deer and waiting for feudal age. You can do men-at-arms instead. He's going to spot out MbL right there, and those guys are going to have a little scuffle. It looks like MbL is actually behind in the scout fight, but Mr. Yo's going to bring a villager over anyway, just to make sure that he wins that one decisively. And I don't know, I thought maybe he could use this time to war with this villager. He's going to use the time to take one of the deer, so she's not just walking around doing nothing. Nice efficiency play. In fact, he's going to bring 3 vills forward to take this deer, and I wonder if he'll come forward with those 3 villagers as well. He might be tempted to come and drop a tower somewhere, but right now, like I say, Mr. Yo really doesn't have... oh shit, am I, snap, I didn't change the title of the stream. It says I'm doing PUBG. Oh no, I'm gonna have to restart the stream later on, because otherwise everyone's gonna think I'm doing PUBG stuff. Mr. Yo versus MbL. I put that as the title. I've updated that now, but oops, that's not good. Few people are going to be a little confused. Thanks for the heads up on that, Wolf. Appreciate it. But yeah, Mr. Yo does see the gold and the wood now, so he's sending those 3 militia forward. He's going to be looking for that man-at-arms upgrade. MbL, on the other hand, already pushing over at the barracks of Yo. Both players kind of just running straight past each other here, and Mr. Yo will actually send a villager forward. Looks like we'll see a tower coming up on that wood line here. He's thinking about it. Meanwhile, he did actually send those villagers back from the deer on the front, getting that food boost. But look, this is what I'm talking about. Delaying the farms for as long as possible. Mr. Yo not seeding a single farm yet. He will want to seed some farms in a moment. He might want to send a couple more vills out to take berries. But He wants to get the horse collar tech first. Then when he seeds the farms, he's going to have the extra health. Sorry, not the extra health, the extra food on them. MbL coming around the back while Mr. Yo is busy fighting in MbL's base. Tower coming up for MbL, but he will lose Villager. That tower is not going up, and that archery range looks like it's going to be slowed down a little bit as well. He will indeed get it up in the end, but at the moment, Mr. Yo has pushed MbL completely off of gold, and that's pretty significant. At the same time, he's coming in with the tower there as well. MbL is going to find that, though he didn't plan or didn't see it. It just kind of happened by chance. Building a house wall here is going to block the villager in, and another man-at-arm comes out, so she is going to go down there in the end, and that's a pyramid of the chat, so where's the bot when you need it? R.I.P. That villager's going to go down. The tile from Mr. Yo will fail, but Mr. Yo's aggression so far has been pretty good. At the same time, MbL coming in with his aggression.
Still managed to stay converted in the church of wololokingdoms.
Thank you, Mysterio, for the resub. 6 months now. That's a half-year anniversary right there. I think you meant King Pleb. That is me. I am the King Pleb. And I'm glad you're still a member of the Church of Wololo. Much needed here. We need you. Looks like MbL is very close to losing more villagers over here. But he is kind of walling himself up, trying to keep himself safe behind those palisades. And that's doing enough for now. On the other side of the map, he kills off a couple of those archers. And that's good, because he did push Mr. Yo off of gold, and Mr. Yo is now making skirms. So both players in a pretty similar position, actually. Both with 29 villagers. MbL with a couple more kills to his name. But that'll change pretty quickly as Mr. Yo looks to equalize things up a little bit here, using his villagers to fight. It's the right thing to do. And he will catch up there. 4-4 kills to deaths. And Mr. Yo with a couple of additional military units. This is nice. He's sending his men-at-arms back, and they're full health. So he's going to run straight into MbL here and try and get one of these men-at-arms down. Can he catch him? Nope. MbL just too quick. Look at that. Too fast, too furious. And Mr. Yo couldn't intercept. But yeah, look at the difference here, though. MbL has a lot of farms up and only just getting horse collar right now. Mr. Yo has a lot of farms up, and horse collar has already been researched. So you can see these farms have a lot more food on them. 145 on this one here for MbL, while the ones at the back for Mr. Yo have 240 plus. So that's huge. And on the left side, Mr. Yo here holding on to that hill, which is a horrible position for MbL to defend, since he's already built a tower back here, and right now I don't see him on stone. So MbL's going to struggle to hold that that gold there without a tower and without enough army to repel this. Now MbL did add the second range a lot faster, whereas Mr. Yo's going for the blacksmith right now. So MbL's strat here is to try and outproduce Mr. Yo, but he's struggling because he just doesn't have the resources to keep double archery production going. His wood line is very inefficient. Look at this house blocking these villagers, and these villagers are walking all the way around to chop the wood and then walking all the way around to drop it, and it's getting very, very messy. MbL's eco here not looking too good, but he is going to keep that skirmisher production going while Mr. Yo completes fletching and wheelbarrow now. An earlier wheelbarrow for Mr. Yo, meaning that he is going to transition up to the castle age very comfortably this game. I would not be surprised if we see Mr. Yo going castle reasonably soon. He is doing padded archer armor as well here, which in this situation it doesn't really help him right now. It's you know, against skirmishes, fletching and padded archer armor do nothing. So you know, I don't want to say wasted resources, because when he does switch into archers later on, which I imagine he will do, that's going to be useful then. But yeah, for now. Also, yeah, I totally didn't mention the fact that the Malians get the +1 defense on these men-at-arms. So these guys have been alive for a lot longer than we would anticipate. I guess the Skirm's additional attack and range would be useful for taking out those men-at-arms there. And then bear in mind that the men-at-arms for Mr. Yo get the +1 attack as well there. It looks like MbL actually added in a couple of extra men-at-arms, if I'm not mistaken. And right now, MbL's even got Mr. Yo on the back foot. Both have fletching. Like I say, padded archer armor really not doing anything right here. Mr. Yo has been outproduced. He is being pushed right back. Bringing a villager over to fight right here as well. Getting in there. Getting stuck in, lad. like it. But yeah, Mr. Yo will try and complete his second archery range now as both players try and out-micro each other. Mr. Yo getting a lot of damage done with that villager, actually. But MbL here will end up getting picked off and will want to go back, I imagine, fairly soon. He's not going back. He's not going back. He's just staying in. Even though we've got the defender's advantage for Mr. Yo here, why would he not go back there? I don't know. MbL overcommitted and will pay the price. Although overall, both players are at 16-16. 16 kills, 16 deaths. And we see that Mr. Yo is 3 villagers behind, but he does have wheelbarrow. And that is crucial. Like I said before, he's setting himself up for a very comfortable transition into the Castle Age. And that Castle Age upgrade is going to be coming in just a few seconds' time here. 730 food in the bank, 197 gold. And Mr. Yo is ready to make that upgrade. Whereas MbL, on the other hand, he's got a very imbalanced economy, actually. He's continuing to make skirms while still having 6 villagers gathering gold. It is a very ineffective way to do things. He may want to plop down a market and buy some food later on, but right now his castle time is suffering. He does not have the food. He doesn't have wheelbarrow either. And with this many farms, wheelbarrow crucial. I mean, 18 farmers. He could have had wheelbarrow 6 villages ago. And all of his farmers would be more efficient and it would be better than they are right now. But MbL has not took his foot off the gas with military production, and he's going straight down the middle of the map once again, looking for another fight. But good micro from Mr. Yo here will get him a couple of additional picks, and MbL will once again have to go back, and Mr. Yo knows that, so he's going to close the gap by running his army forward, and MbL is just like flagging right now. You can tell. You can just see, like, he's just given up on any attempt to micromanage that army. He could have ran them away, but he decided, no, I'm just going to give them up. I'm going to give them away for free. It's a donation from the benevolent MbL to Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo will push out now, and we see the stable coming down from MbL here. He's going to go for a couple of knights probably, but Mr. Yo's going to have the map control, and we've spoken about this already. This hill and this gold pile is ugly, and MbL is going to be pushed right back here. We've got a stable up for Mr. Yo as well. It's really difficult to spot the stable, actually, until the Castle Age comes in. Then it's a bit more obvious, but yeah. It's a shame that the elephant on the stable isn't animated. I feel like that would be really nice if the elephant... Oh, it is animated. Okay, I'm going crazy. Never mind. Anyway, Mr. Yo sending a couple of scouts forward just to pad his army up while he goes up to the Castle Age. He's going to go, obviously, start making some knights, but the scouts getting in there, and I think this is going to be a pretty quick GG at this rate, as MbL's pushed off of the gold. He's doing bloodlines, he's doing +1 defense for his knights, and he's hoping when he gets to the Castle Age, he can take this fight, but it's not going to be easy. A second stable is coming up. Another gold mine at the back will be his sort of backup for now. Unfortunately, Mr. Yo isn't going to find it just yet, though Mr. Yo is probably very close. He's scouted it. I wonder if he's going to head back here, assuming that he's going to be on gold, or if he's just going to head over to the right side. And it looks like he will head over to the right side. So MbL up to castle. He's got 2 stables, so he can do some work with that. But we've already got Mr. Yo coming up with a couple of monasteries, anticipating the knights. And if you're in Mr. Yo's position, it's so logical to go skirms in the Feudal Age and transition from skirms into monks, because when you go full skirm, you know your opponent's going to react by going into the knights more often than not. And oh, this is huge as well. He's going to get a few villager picks in this wood line. MbL, it's all going down from here. Look at this. Losing 3 villagers already. And even if Mr. Yo loses all of these skirms right now, it's the perfect bait. Although, to be honest with you, he's still alive in here. I can't believe how much damage he's getting away with. But it's the perfect bait because the monks are out. And once those monks are out, the knight conversions are going to start coming in. And of course, MbL is not prepared to deal with monks right now. He's committed to doing double stable knights. And it's baited. He's been baited out. There's another conversion. There's another conversion. He's going to get one more. There it is. So there you have it. 3 conversions already. And MbL now is in a lot of trouble, as these monks pay their dues, basically. Oh, he did get wheelbarrow. My bad. I missed MbL getting wheelbarrow earlier on. Okay, so Mr. Yo did fail to complete the siege workshop, but he will look to finish that fairly soon. And I think, MbL's done a reasonable job of holding on here, but he is going to lose more villagers now, especially if Mr. Yo comes up to this wood line right here, and that's a juicy wood line. You got 6 villagers right there, very far from safety. But of course, Mr. Yo's best play is to bait the knights into his monks and get more kills with them, or conversions with them, I should say. You got to put your wololos in the air like you just don't care. So, at the moment, great position for Mr. Yo. Full map control, full control of the situation. He's forced MbL to gather resources in very exposed positions, very dangerous positions. And MbL is going to make a ballsy move here, and he's going to push out. 4 knights moving across the map. He's going to see what he can find, and the relatively exposed, relatively undefended base of Mr. Yo could be quite lucrative. He does need to find 8 villager kills here to equalize the villager count, as they are both on 1 TC, so this is going to be a big effect. He's going to push Mr. Yo right back to the town center. It was a very risky play for MbL to leave himself undefended there, but sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures, and look at those villagers gathering under the TC. Man, if MbL had +2 defense, he would kill so many vills right there. But unfortunately, Mr. Yo has got Bodkin Arrow, and MbL just has +1 defense. So that town center is doing too much damage to the knights for him to take the fight there. He'll go back to the wood line, he'll find some villagers out on the left-hand side, and meanwhile, he's going to run another 6 knights into MbL's eco to try and keep that villager count in his favor. MbL's really holding on here, and he's doing a good job of holding on. Equalizing the villager count is absolutely necessary, absolutely essential, and he did a lot of work with just 4 knights there. He will eventually lose them. It would be nice if this knight was actually attacking the enemy knights and not the mining camp, but priorities. And on this left side, Mr. Yo is continuing to keep his push going. I do think it is well and truly over for MbL. I don't think he's really got a shot anymore. His archery range is being converted. I think he tried to convert the stable as well over here, and MbL actually deleted it. He's still got 2 stables at the back, but he's going full knights into, well, basically full monks right now, and that is never going to end well. There's more of these buildings are converted. Oh, MbL's archer. Is he going to be trapped? No, he's not. He doesn't complete the conversion. As the knights run out, and Mr. Yo needs to focus his attention on converting the knights here. Just 2 or 3 conversions will be enough. I don't know how many he's actually going to get. I think he got 1. Maybe he only got 1 conversion there. It was a little bit underwhelming. But MbL popped out those archers at the last second and managed to pick off the knights quite quickly. So pretty good for him to do that. But even still, MbL now, with these 2 town centers, still not in a position to catch up to Mr. Yo in eco at this point in the game. Still behind in military count, still behind in KD. And Mr. Yo has also added a 2nd town center as well. He's not slacking there, but Mr. Yo's looking for a castle. He's got 650 stone in the bank. He's got a lot of villagers gathering the stone here, and obviously a switch into Arambai would just be the final nail in the coffin for MbL, to be honest. There it is, coming up on the front on that gold, the position on the map, which we identified many times already as being pretty bad for MbL and something that Mr. Yo wants to abuse. If you convert a building with units in it, does it convert the units as well? 83 official asks. No, it does not. The units will just pop out. If you convert a transport ship, the units will stay inside, but they will not be converted. But there you have it, GG from MbL. That castle wasn't required, but it certainly would have been a castle to end the game had it come up anyway. Obviously, a switch into Arambai from Mr. Yo would have been huge. Those guys hit hard. They're great at raiding. And I think another castle from Mr. Yo would have been on the way very quickly as well. With, 15 villagers gathering stone there. He probably would have castled up on this right side also, just to prevent MbL's movement and deny that stone. So a good play by Mr. Yo, kept the pressure on, and I think really that snowballed out of control for 2 reasons. Mr. Yo's economy was better, He did make better economical decisions, such as delaying the farms until he had horse collar. That obviously saved him a lot of wood. He got wheelbarrow very early, which was good at the right time, in my opinion. And then, other than that, a couple of bad fights from MbL. He stuck around here a little bit too long and did not retreat early enough. Or when he had the advantage, he kind of just stayed in and lost it because the defender's advantage from Mr. Yo enabled him to outnumber MbL and start trading effectively. So, yeah, a couple of bad decisions from MbL there. But we'll go to game 2. We'll see how that goes. And we'll put a point up for Mr. Yo here because he wins the first game. So there you go. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's pretty unannounced.